G'day everyone, welcome back to Nat's Knackers Yard. I won't be in my Knackers Yard, I'll be at Watford Motorcycle Centre. One of the best MOT places and bike shops, so you got bike porn while you're waiting. It's a fucking busy place. But they're awesome here, they're really good. Managed to sneak me in for an MOT because I managed to completely ignore all the reminders that my app sends me that the MOT was due on my daily commute ER6N Ivan. All good. This is like the ultimate setup for a bike MOT place because there's a cafe 2 doors down, which means it's a good excuse for a fry up while you're waiting, and it's a really good cafe as well. I've even actually, after I got Klaus my LT 1200 MOT'd here, went to the cafe, so that's really good, and I brought my family down a couple of weeks later. So anyway, MOT all done on Ivan on the ER6N. One advisory and one bit of advice. Advisory was that my chain's a bit slack, which I've looked at a couple of times and thought, yeah, I should really do something about that, but it's the real... I don't know what you guys are like. For those that just own and for those that own and run a bike, I think there's kind of two categories. You've got this is going to sound really grand, the functionaries and the visionaries. The functionaries are it's a mode of transport, it's a thing, it's a, yes, it's, you know, they're a bit more spirited than a car, but it's fundamentally, you know, you own it for a purpose, and that purpose is to hoik you around quite often to work and back, and frankly they get a bit neglected. When things go wrong, you fix them, or you take them for somebody else to fix them. When things are going wrong, you kind of glance at it and go, yeah, I'll do that at some point, and it gets added to the weekend list. And then occasionally you get far enough down your weekend list that it gets done. More often than not, it just kind of tinkers on. So you've got the functionaries, you've got the visionaries, who, it's a thing of beauty, it's what you love, it's you preen it, you do fucking this, that and the other with it, you add bits, you polish it. And within the visionaries I'd include sort of coffee shop runners, or are you going to indicators don't work on that bike, on that car? I'd include the sort of coffee shop riders, those that consider riding as seasonal, and you know, and I'm not deriding anyone that does that at all. Particularly as an age thing, it's not particularly pleasant riding in the pissing rain. I mean, this is quite nice actually, at least it's dry. Well, at least it's dry, at least it's warm, I should say. But yeah, particularly for those predominantly gentlemen of a certain age, where you just look at it and go, I'm too fucking old for that shit. My knees, my back, my ankles, my wrists. But yeah, so the kind of visionaries. Now, I'm kind of both of those, I think, but on my own bike I'm very much functional. Sorry bud, but you're a workhorse. It doesn't really matter if you're the most gorgeous thing in the world, that's not what you're for. And frankly, you love it, you slag. He gets a fair few miles put on him. I don't really do long legs on him, but you know, he's pretty much an everydayer. The only times that he gets a rest really is most weekends he gets a rest, and occasionally during the week if I use a work car or something, I'll leave the bike at work and drive around in the work car for long trips and meetings and crap and things, so he gets a bit of a break that time. But it really is quite functionary, and I had noticed a few times, I find it more difficult on bikes that don't have centre stands to sort of monitor things like chain slack, because obviously as soon as you get off it and put it down, it angles that side of the bike down, so it's less visible, whereas when you're on a centre stand, that's theory, it's more visible because it's more upright, you can see the chain, etc, etc. So anyway, I'll take out some of the slack at some point. I don't think I'll bother filming that because it's not exactly tricky. Yeah, I'll just chuck him up on a stand and take out a bit of chain slack. The other thing that he mentioned was that my bulb, and this isn't an advisory, just said, no, you might want to get it sorted, was that my bulb in my number plate light is really dim. He says it's fine, you know, it's got a light, so it's not an MOT failure, nor is it an advisory, but he says the bulb was really dim. Which one I went, yeah, I'll do that. And after thinking about it, I thought, well, but will I? If it makes my number plate less visible. There are several highly illegal products on the market that you can buy, like, you know, those electric flip thingies, or even the manual ones to hide your license plate. Why would I go and put a fucking strobe light on my number plate? But I'll see. I'm too much of a Dudley do right not to do it. But what I think will happen is I will sit this evening at some point and think, oh yeah, I need to do that bulb, order one, and it will sit on my shelf for about 4 months until I get around to actually doing it. In a similar way to anybody that watches channel Slobo Lobo, has had a broken speedo for about 8 months now, and I think he mentions it in every single upload that my speedo's not right, it just registers the wrong speed. Yeah, I'll do it, but I'll do it in my own good time. Other stuff, when I get back, I'll sort out Daryl's rear mudguard and stuff. I have been doing that throughout the week, twice. I'll go into that. And even then I'm really not that convinced, but I'll go into that as well. But I want to put it away and on now for no other reason than I've got that bike in a few bits, because I've been painting and this, that and the other. I'm going to start losing things if I'm not careful, so I just want to get it back on the bike, whilst I am waiting for the tappets, which still haven't arrived but are due to arrive during the week. Next week we shall see. I've got to the bottom of my CMS NL and they have refunded me. I have gone pretty apeshit at them and said I'm never using them again. It has taken me over a month from it being posted. It's taken me in the region of 11 or 12 emails. I heard nothing from them as a company, from their customer support. I heard nothing from them for 3 weeks, with me badgering them throughout, saying, what is going on, give me my money back, or give me my part that I've ordered in good faith. But I finally got my money back. Absolute pain in the arse. Never ever ever order anything from CMSNL. If you do order it and you're lucky enough to get it, well done you. I've got stuff from them before, but this is the second consecutive occasion where they have utterly cocked me around, and it's taken time, effort to get my freaking money back. Just strike me, it's that standard thing, never judge an organisation by its success. So when it works, they're fine. When it doesn't work, they are absolutely horrendous. So do not deal with them if you can find your parts anywhere else. What are you doing? Would be my advice, not my direction. Right, I'm going to poot around the corner, get this bike put away. I've been abandoned by my wife for the weekend, so I'm not really going to get a lot done because I need to pick up youngest from her club, a little bit of tinkering, then I've got to take the two eldest to archery lessons, and I've got to sit in the rain watching them because they're under 18 and need supervising. Wonderful. My wife normally goes and normally joins in, but yeah, I don't really want to find another hobby. I barely have enough time for mine as is. I'm going to have to sit around in a pissing rain, which I'm really not looking forward to. I might just offer the boys and say, do you want to do it? And if they look outside and go, well, it's all rainy and shitty. No. Really? Fuck's sake. Right. I'm close enough to home, I'm most likely statistically to have an accident, so I'm going to shut up. See you in a bit. Okay then, and I'm back. I parked up Ivan. I will sort his chain. Now by slack chain, let's see if I can show you. I mean, it is a bit. I don't think that's... I'm ruining my shoes. Never mind, these are my garage shoes. I don't think that's too bad, but I will tighten that up. I probably won't do it on camera, brutally. And if all this comes across as a bit rushed, I apologise. With the missus away, I've got a shed load of running around after kids to do. So I don't have a lot of time, so it will be a bit disjointed and maybe a little bit rushed. For that, I apologise. Tomorrow, today being Saturday, tomorrow I should be picking up the Ninja 650. I haven't got the key yet, so I will just be parking it away. I may well give it a good douche down and wash just to see what we're dealing with, but I think I'll do that as a separate one and probably drop that in midweek the way I normally do. The bike, Daryl, obviously it's massively stripped down. Obviously I'm still waiting on the tappets up the back there. All week I've been coming into this bike, normally my day bike, normally Ivan is parked there, and I've been looking at that and looking at the comments that I got when I mentioned about bobbing it, chopping it, and so many of you were for it, and I think I'm with you. I think now I have done the rear mudguard. I've had a bit of a disaster throughout it. If you remember, I did run the risk of just going over the paint on top. I didn't have any problems at all. I think principally because I primed it, so I went primed over it. Got it all done, got it all glossed. A couple of little blemishes on it. I thought I'll give them a bit of a rub. Stupidly, too much rub. Well, not stupidly, I had to rub deep enough to get rid of the blemish, which meant that I then went through the paint. I thought I can repaint it, and I got some horrendous reactions. I think I'd gone through the primer, to be honest. Like I've said before, spray can paint, you can get some good results, but it is thin. You cannot really piss around with it like that. I'll chuck a picture in the bottom here as to the bobble that I ended up with. So what? I stripped it. I stripped it complete in one night and painted it up. And it's not looking too bad. Now bearing in mind this was local pound shop products, with the exception of the can brush. Whoop. Because that's literally all I had left. It is thin. I've gone thin where you can't see it, where the seat goes. I filled in the gaps. I've ended up with some weird blemish on it, and I've no idea what that is. It's under the lacquer. I don't quite get it. I don't think I'm going to use it anyway, but so hence I'm not rubbing it down. That's raw lacquer. I'm not smoothing it off, so it's not going to go from sort of that orange peel to something nice and flat like on the Mudguard. I'm literally just putting it on so I don't lose it or anything else. I'm probably going to end up using elements of it as a stubby rear mudguard and chopping off the bits. But all of that is by the by. All of that is rubbish until I can see if I can get this engine going at all. If I can't and I sack it, I'd like to sell it as a whole piece rather than a half chop. I also don't want to waste money on a smaller seat if I'm not going to get the engine running. So what I'm going to do is get that back on the bike. I might then wheel it out so we can have a look at what it looks like, and it might change my mind. I'm undecided, but like I say, I've now got to run out and take the boys to archery for a couple of hours, then come back and yada 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 yada. So I'll see how I get on. We might get a shot. We might get a shot outside. It may well be dark by the time I get to that, but we will see. Cool. Okay, so that's the without, and I have to say I quite like it. I've come round to the idea, but I am going to put the mudguard back on, so I've just slung it up. So I now have a bit of tension, which means that I can take the bolts out without it all slamming back down. And I'm going to stick the rear mudguard back on. Right, for what it's worth, it's back on. That blemish is in just about the worst place it could possibly be. I'm not sure what's happened there, but like I say, this is liable to just be a temporary measure. I just wanted it back together, if you like, so I didn't step on it and break it as much as anything else. I do like it, but I prefer the cut back version, which I think I'm probably going to do. But at least like this, it means that there's one complete resellable unit, if you like. I mean, I think that seat's actually quite... Whoa, oh, a mirth. A mirth has ruined my focus. Hello? There we go. A mirth, sorry, a moth in English. I quite like that, but I do like it cut back. But anyway, it's back in one piece. I'm still waiting on sodding tappets. It is dark o'clock, albeit not that late. I've had naff all time today because, like I said, I've been running around after kids, although I have got a fresh MOT on my daily commute, so happy with that. So what, tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow I should be picking up the 650. I wanted to say Bandit. I'm so tired, I've been running around all day. The new bike, well, Ninja, that's the word I was looking for. Tomorrow should be picking up the Ninja after I've helped to make my move. I will show you it when I get it. I'm probably only going to clean it and push it away because I am fairly unsupported this weekend. And I also want to sort out the chain on Ivan, although, like I say, I'm probably not going to bother filming that. It should be relatively cut and dry. I'll have a quick look at the manual this evening. I know what I'm doing anyway, I think, but just to confirm that I'm not going to cock it up or put my rear wheel cockeyed. Right, that'll do me. A little bit disappointing in how that paint turned out, but I show my failures as much as I show my successes. And that was a double failure. And irritating and everything else. Worst case scenario, if I keep it like this, I'll put a sticker over it. That'll cure it, a little Honda sticker. Cheers all, I'll catch you later. Ta-da.